Cut 98. Can I give one more agonizing thing from the State Department? Here's John Kerry on what's going to happen if you don't approve the deal with Iran.
That is a recipe very quickly, my friends, business people here, for the American dollar to cease to be the reserve currency of the world.
What?
If you don't agree with the Iran deal, the dollar, you know what this is? This is so dangerous.
Wow.
You know what it is? Can anybody else explain this? What did he just do?
My thought was he realizes that that's a real possibility, and now he has something to blame it on when it happens.
Yeah, yep. That was mine too.
Anybody call Goldline lately?
That's not even a paid commercial.
No, seriously. You now have a State Department, a top administration official, actually declaring that the dollar, the U.S. dollar, will no longer be the world's currency because of something that there is no way that has anything to do with it.
And when it happens, he'll say, I told you. I told you that's what.
Seemingly random tie.
Yes, it is.
What a weird
wait a minute. How does not going for a deal get us to the place to where our dollar is not the reserve currency?
Well, I'll tell you how, Glenn, thank you for asking the question. I'm glad you brought it up. It's because the Chinese, we asked them to sign on to this deal. The Chinese have signed on to this deal, and then we're going to lose our credibility with them. And
they're not buying, excuse me.
That's in turn going to cause
They're not buying any of our dollar. They're not buying any of our debt.
Well, I meant the Zimbabweans, too. They're
not
all
either.
over this deal, and they
won't. No, they're not.
Well, what about the people in Australia? How will they feel about it? We're going to lose our credibility, Glenn. That's all I'm trying to say.
Is it possible? I mean, considering how bad in negotiations these guys are, is it possible that that was a precondition? Essentially, they said, if you don't do this, we're going to make sure and push for
China
and Russia.
And Russia?
Where they push for that to go away, that status to go away around the world.
I mean,
if that happened,
I don't know.
Then we're at war with China and Russia.
Which is what...
That's economic terrorism.
Which is what our president, Barack Obama, said we would be at war if it didn't pass, right?
Correct. I mean, if that's true, then somebody should have come to the table. He should say that and back it up with the evidence. Why? Where is the media asking, what the hell does that even mean?
Yeah, how'd you make that tie
How do you make that leap?
Like,
that is a significant. We should play that again tomorrow.
Yeah.
We should play that as much as we can. We should post that. We should post that on Facebook and let people see and hear that. That's really important. For him to say that, that is a very big deal. Remember, I said that the United States dollar would not be the world currency, would no longer be the economic reserve currency. What did they say about me?
You were nuts.
Why? It would never happen. Nothing. I've been a kook for 7 years for saying that. Now you have the head of the State Department coming out and if you lose your reserve currency, what everybody does is currently, instead of holding gold, they hold dollars in their bank. That's their dollar. That's their gold, okay? So they can stay afloat because they have, $100 billion, literally $100 billion, not digits, actual cash in a bank. They hold it in their treasury. If they say, you know what, I'm going to get rid of these dollars and I'm going to go with the ruble or I'm going to go with the Chinese or I'm going to whatever. I'm going to go with gold. If they do that, when the world says, I'm no longer holding the dollar, they sell those dollars and buy something with it. So they say, I want to buy the yuan, the Chinese yuan. I'm going to buy $100 billion of the Chinese yuan. They take that money and give it to the Chinese. They buy it with that. All this money, all this cash is now in the system that had been locked up in vaults. You have hyperinflation overnight. It means You have plenty of money. It means every dollar you have earned, every dime you have in the bank is suddenly worthless. We are Zimbabwe overnight. People have to understand what he just said. That is shocking.
There's been
Play it again. Play it again.
There's been a few statements like this lately, too. That
I want to hear him, Pat. You need to bring him on. Tomorrow's show, you need to bring him on.
Okay.
About the dollar?
No, the dollar and the re-education camp from Wesley Clark. And, I mean, there's been some shocking outrageous
Bring him tomorrow.
statements.
But this one, I'm telling you, look out. This
is amazing.
Dangerous.
That is a recipe very quickly, my friends, business people here, for the American dollar to cease to be the reserve currency of the world, which is already bubbling out there.
Wow.
Yes,
Holy cow.
Wow.
This is quite an admission.
Yeah, because they've never admitted that the American dollar was in
No.
any kind of trouble.
They have mocked me and anyone
Over and
like
over
me
again.
forever.
Oh, yeah.
It is kookery. Think about everybody who has mocked me for Goldline. Why do I say buy gold or silver? Because I believe the dollar will cease to be the world currency.
Oh, you've said it a million times. It's not for an investment for you.
I just said it, didn't I? Just
it's a
last
hedge
hour?
against. It's a hedge against catastrophe.
Yes. Holy cow! We are closer than I thought.
It's a little chilling.
Wow, I think that's the most disturbing thing I've heard. That is. Where's the press? Where the hell is the press? Did you just hear what the State Department just said? Where the hell is the press?
Maybe the last 26 seconds make it a little bit better. Let's listen to those.
And if the United States...
Actually, let's listen to it from the top so you get the whole thing in context.
That is a recipe very quickly, my friends, business people here, for the American dollar to cease to be the reserve currency of the world, which is already bubbling out there.
Wow.
And if the United States were to behave that way, not only would we have lost them with respect to the sanctions, but we will lose their support if we had to use military action. Can you imagine Israel and the United States taking military action because we forced a situation where Iran goes back to what it was doing? Because we wouldn't live by the deal that we already agreed to, which the United Nations has already approved 15-0 in the Security Council.
That didn't really make the statement any better.
Well, I mean, what do you mean we already agreed to? We have a process in place to agree to it, which includes a vote by people like Chuck Schumer. They get to voice their opinion. We haven't already agreed to it.
We did it at the UN, though. That was the point.
And the UN is the governing body.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they rammed it through the UN.
The UN is the more important body than the U.S. Congress.
This is already done. You got to take it. That's what he's saying. It's already done.
Yes.
It's already
you
done.
must take it.
And the people's voice doesn't matter. The elected officials in Washington, it don't matter. It's already happened. The president agreed to it. I agreed to it. The UN has agreed to it. Enough. That's what he's saying. And on top of it, and if you don't like it, it will be such a catastrophe that those who want to end the supremacy of the United States of America, our allies, they will dump our dollar and we will have hyperinflation.
And the other thing he promises is the other false premise, war. So not only will the dollar go away as the world currency, we're going to war.
But also,
that's not the other alternative to this deal.
There's two predictions that he is dancing on right here. Two of my predictions that he's dancing on. The first one is the dollar and the world currency. What's the other one? We will be close to peace.
Oh, yeah, and then they'll blame us.
And we will not be able to do the deal. And Israel will have to go it alone.
That's right.
And the world will blame Israel. That's about to be fulfilled as well. Holy cow, that is a powerhouse quote.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
There is a lot there. If you're a longtime listener of the show, may I suggest you get to Birmingham on 828? May I suggest that maybe it's time for us to stand for the things that are right and righteous and be seen by the Lord, forget everybody else. Be seen by God, Almighty God, standing up and saying, I'm not on that side. I am not on that side. Please, dear God, protect us. Please, God, protect us, protect this nation, and see the people who are actually turning towards you. Wow. Sponsor this half hour, believe it or not, Goldline.
Perfect.
What do I need to say? 1-866-GOLDLINE. 1-866-GOLDLINE or goldline.com. If that didn't wake you up, nothing will. This is not a short process for you. This isn't you just call them up and say, hey, give me some of that gold. How much a bag of gold? You have to do your homework. You have to know how much you want. You have to know, how you want to buy it. They will help you all the way through, but this is not something you should buy in a knee-jerk reaction. You hear that, and if you're as freaked out by that as I am, that's not the time to go buy something. That's time to get you motivated to go and look and search it out in your own head. What do I do? I don't care how much people make fun of me, how much people make fun of you, how much they cry. I'm telling you we're right. You do your own homework and search it out in your own mind. 866-GOLDLINE, 866-GOLDLINE or goldline.com.